Got this figured out. All that. Get that? Hi there. So today's going to be another video on the M715. Today I'll be welding in the motor mounts and getting that all finalized so that I can start getting to working on the front axle swap. Start getting this stuff done. Thanks for joining me. I was down to the point where I didn't have a tow rig to do anything with, so I went out and bought this jalopy here. All the way up, all the way around. So on the way up to look at the truck, we stopped and looked at the sturgeon spawn. And then we also got to see this when we got there to look at the truck. Easter eggs. Easter eggs. And they're everywhere, you can see them. Alright, so we got the motor set down in there. Right now we're just trying to figure, have it evenly this way. Also make sure that it's not twisted one way or the other. Got the transmission up on the cross member. So transmission is up on the original cross member there. Pretty sure we have it where we want it. Put the transfer case in so that I have a idea of it missing that bracket right over there with the front drive shaft, and positioning so I can start to figure out where I'm going to weld that motor mount in, and also put on the drive shaft that came out of the Chevy donor truck to make sure that we are straight to the rear axle and going to miss the gas tank. So on this mount, we had to cut it up outside of the frame. So when I finally got it in there, we tacked it in there, and the tail shaft for the transfer case was pointing more than enough towards the gas tank to prompt me to cut this back out. And I had to pull the cross member out where the transmission goes and trim that down so that the transmission could sit on there better also. But right now I'm taking and cutting out of the passenger side and scooted it over about 5/8 of an inch. And so now I cut out of this side. I got a piece of rubber stuffed in there to keep it in there. Nothing's welded in, it's just hanging there. I had to take a piece of the original pipe off of that, which is this. Cut it in half, squeeze it in the vise to make it a lot closer to round anyways. So I got that to sit in there. There's the two halves. I'm gonna cut that back a little bit more, and I'm gonna sleeve it. I'm gonna put this in there, drill a couple holes in there to plug weld it to, and then cut a piece off of this. Weld this together, grind it down, slide it in. I also had to make a little bit more room. The steering shaft came through there, but when it's all said and done, it'll be nice to make sure I have enough room as far as the steering shaft goes. And I'm going to get a new box. This is manual. Also, the differential will be going from the passenger side to the driver's side. So I'm just making sure I got enough room over there too. But it also centered me a lot more in the truck and lines up the transfer case with the rear axle a lot better. So right now, since I didn't have 1.5 inch outside diameter tube to put inside of this, I got that shoved inside of there with a piece of cloth to expand it out, and I put a clamp in there to cram it up in there and make it tight and expand it. Now I'm going to weld it. So I'm going to weld it, and then I'm going to have to grind them down and then slide it out the other side, weld it. Alright, so I took this 1.75 inch outside diameter with 1.5 inch inside, cut it down and made a piece. She ain't perfectly round, but made a piece that's 1.5 inch on the outside, and let's see here. Slides in there pretty good. It ain't too horrible as far as gapping goes. Because in our small town, I wouldn't have been able to go find a piece of mild steel that size anywhere. They don't sell that crap at Ace Hardware. Alright, so this is what I came up with. Drilled some holes for plug welds. Get in there. Put some hair on it. Got that. Kind of beveled the edge here. It's going to come there. I'm going to leave a little gap there, weld that, weld the plug hole. This is going to go in there further. It's supposed to be this one right here, so there. And it slides in there plenty far. Like that. That's how I'm extending it. Then I'm going to weld that all the way around. And I got a plug weld on the other side too. That's how I'm going to extend it out. Alright, there it is, all ugly, ground down, but strong. Alright, well, finally got this figured out. All that. Get that? Alright, well, it's in there every which way it's supposed to be, I think. So here we go. This is tacking it in for the second time, but alright, I got the motor mount in there. It's tacked in where I want it. After I figured everything out on which way it should be, and I don't have the tail shaft or the transfer case pointing at the gas tank anymore. It's ready to be fully welded in. So now I'm going to pull the motor out, transmission, transfer case, and I'm going to weld everything in fully. And then after that, I'm going to start on the front axle swap. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the front axle swap. She's rough, but dude, she's going to be cool. Let's look at that fishtail. I mean, they don't get much cooler.